Hi, this is Zach Mayer with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Tuesday, the 15th of April. Starting off with the S&P, which has obviously seen that line there from December. That was a previous support line. It's now become a resistance line. 3 failures there so far. I suppose the level there, nominally 54.30. I suppose we could even say that it was a bit higher than that, but 54.60. But basically that line there has been the line in the sand, and below that, below yesterday's high, there's the risk of a retest of the 52.20 area, the old summer 2024 support zone. Moving along to the situation at the Nasdaq, and here the market has sort of, I suppose, pushed through the equivalent line there, 18,500. Below that, we've got the risk of a move down towards 17,500, which wouldn't be great. Above it, I suppose the best case would be up towards the resistance on the way down around 19,700, but it does look as though there is a negative line there, and that the 19,000 area is going to be difficult to crack in the near term. This is especially so given the way that the RSI is at 46 and still below neutral 50. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with American Rebel, which seems to appear in the list of the rises, but not actually rise anywhere, which is rather an achievement. But here you can see that we're still in this falling trend channel there. The current situation is we're still struggling to get back above the 50-day moving average at $13, and that's obviously the resistance at the moment. We failed at the 50-day line multiple times in the recent past, so I suppose at this stage we still have to factor in a retest of recent support in the $3 zone. On to one of the bigger winners here. The stock of Janover was obviously called up to $8, just managed to stay above the $4 floor range, and then obviously rocketed. Current situation is we're trying to scratch our head and work out where this is going, and how wide that trend channel that the stock is in. It looks as though it's going towards $100 plus, but obviously that can change very quickly. The line in the sand in terms of support at the moment is the resistance on the way up around $48, and so while above $48, we're still looking for the upside here on Janover, but clearly wide stops and wide degree of margin of error is required on that situation at the moment. Moving on to Metsera, and here falling trend channel gapped up above off the floor of that channel and from oversold territory, so we're looking for a little bit more on the upside perhaps. Best case would be up to the old support there back in March, $23, while we're above, or while there's no end of day close, back below yesterday's low at $16.25. Moving along to Stak, and here almost an identical chart, with the difference being that the shares haven't gapped off the low. Current position is above the high or the resistance of Friday around $1.80. We're at $1.90 on the pre-market. Then we're still looking for the top of that broadening triangle there, $3.30 by the end of the month. But the key here is there's no end of day close back below that $1.80 zone. On to another stock which it looks like it might have legs, a rising trend channel base, and here for third Harmonics, and good multiple bounces off the floor of that channel. We're looking for the shares to fill the gap towards $4.50 and hit the top of that rising trend channel as well from back in February. So hopefully the two will coincide. If you're cautious, you want to see an end of day close back above the 50-day line there at $3.74. Moving along to the metals company, and here we've got a situation with the shares shooting through the top of the range, gap up through the top of the range, which is normally a decent signal. Here we've got a rising trend channel, presumably along the way that I'm drawing at the moment, so heading towards the $4 area, while we're above the old February resistance at $2.60. Ideally, there's no break back below that, but probably one would have to allow for down to the 220 area at worst. USA rare earths or rare earth, in fact, is a situation which seems to be a done deal in terms of the fundamentals. Obviously, China's blockade of or export ban of rare earths, so This almost had to be a winner. We gapped up, we held the gap, and pushing through the 50-day line, which I think was our original target, $10.70. Above that, we're looking for $20, perhaps as soon as the end of next month. Moving along to a situation which may be positive if the shares can build on the current setup, gap down and then gapping up, so that's a bear trap item reversal. End of day close through that resistance line there from February. Cadivas heading up to the 50-day line there, just near the $6 mark by the end of next month. Another situation to take note of at the moment is Wellgistics, and here you can see that there's possibly a rising trend channel here, top of the channel and top of the range, $5.60 plus. And we're looking for that while we're above a recent broken support there at $3.55. Finishing off with WF, and here not much to go on, but just the possibility that we're at the bottom of a falling trend, or a rising trend channel rather, a rising trend channel base, and could head back up towards the near the top of the range, or the middle of the range actually in this case, near $4.50 by the end of this month, while we remain on the right side of $2. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.